Welcome to the Richmond Events Podcast, where we take you inside the UK's most exclusive business forums. You'll get to meet the delegates, suppliers and speakers shaping their industries. Richmond Events, this is where business gets done.
Hello and welcome to the Market Insight Forum here at Richmond Events. We are here with the lovely Evelyne. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Thank you, Rachel.
So tell us, you are speaking today from insight to influence. What is your talk all about?
Yeah, let me read this off the screen so that I know
It's mine.
I like to hold workshops rather than give talks. Why? Because people are being talked at way too much in business and life. And we don't remember what we're being talked at. So what I like to do is, my specialty is leadership, presence, expression, communication. So I talk with people and I give them a practical experience of what it looks like when we come to life when we present.
I love this. And funnily enough, it ties into what Julia Shaw, our keynote speaker, was talking about how we're remembering things. We had a quick glimpse of your workshop and you had someone at the front who was talking about delivery. What does your workshop involve?
Yeah, or what doesn't it involve? And first off, I think this is exactly the point that Julia was making, that we don't remember as much as we think we do. And so that's a really big and important point. If that is true, why are we talking so much?
Valid.
Right? So rather than talking so much, we want to create embodied experiences. So when I do leadership training, I work with people rather than just talk about their fears and their blocks. I get them up. I do exposure therapy. What is it that you're afraid of? What do we need to do for you to, be more impactful in the moment, in a critical impact situation? What does it take? So my workshop entails, first of all, I need to put people at ease with what's happening because, right, I can already see you tensing up when I said, she's like...
You're pulling me up on stage in front of everyone straight away. I'm like, oh my God.
Not straight away, because the whole key point to becoming a really great and engaging presenter is your own personal feeling of safety. If you feel safe, you can do anything. The problem is we don't tend to feel safe when we're in front of a group of strangers, right? So the first thing I will do in a workshop is help people feel at ease. I introduce the fact that we're doing a workshop, having a conversation, we're going to be playing here, and this is a fun space. We need to have fun.
Always.
Exactly. And there's too much stuff in life that isn't fun enough. So we do that. I will explain to people who I am, where I've come from, which is not your standard presentation trainer's path. My background is performing. Oh, you're an actress? Yes, kind of. But singing, dancing, stand-up comedy, and Europe's #1 Madonna impersonator.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
So I've been on the stage a little bit. I've had my own records, record deals. I've been, as a German female, dared to go on the London comedy scene. So mad. And what that has taught me is how to engage a room that isn't necessarily in your corner from the start.
Okay.
How to hold your own, how to build presence, how to get people involved, and how to communicate so that your message lands. So there, I'm also a TEDx speaker, so I do speak. It's not just singing and here we go.
All of it.
Yes, all of it. I'm really interested in the human experience in front of other people. I love performing, and I think performing has got a little bit of a bad reputation these days. If you say, oh, I don't want to be performative, or we don't want to give a performance, you need to have real confidence, not performance. And I always like to intercept there because I think performance is an art. And any type of you being in front of people has an element of performance. Not in the sense that it's wrong and you shouldn't, but in the sense that you're not the same in your pajamas than you are on a stage, and rightly so. So I'm talking about authentic performance. And that means to create something that feels real, fully knowing it's not your natural habitat. A camera is not a natural habitat, a stage is not a natural habitat. And yet we want to ease ourselves into this space so that we can, as we like to say, communicate effectively, land our message, influence people, and have a good time doing so.
So what did you see in the workshop that you've run this morning, considering the people at the forum today are insight marketers, you know, that this isn't their everyday performing, as it were, but they do have to stand up and deliver.
Yes.
So what was you seeing in the
You know
workshop?
what was interesting is I did my research with AI because I'm like that. And I said to them, I asked Claude what you guys are like and what the problem is. And Claude came back with the idea that because you're desk bound, it's really difficult to communicate so that other people will listen. And that was kind of accurate. But when I asked who of you is a presenter and likes presenting, most hands weren't up.
Okay.
I did not expect that. I thought they'd all be, desk bound.
Yeah. Protective barrier, right?
Data-driven people who don't like to talk. And that wasn't the case. So you have people who absolutely do like to talk. And the next challenge was, but how do I do that on the Teams meeting? Because I don't have people with me. Mm-hmm. No, whether they're good speakers or not, I don't know. I can't evaluate from here. But I can see there's a challenge. We tend to think we're better speakers than we are. Often, a bit like with the memory, we tend to think we look better and we tend to think we remember more than we tend to think we're better speakers than we are. But latest when it comes to Zoom and team calls, people realize it's difficult because you can't see the audience.
Yeah.
And most people rely on their audience to tell them whether they're good enough versus leading the conversation and letting the audience join versus leading the conversations and bringing the audience in. And so to me, that is a level up to see yourself as a leader on stage, not just as someone, I'm presenting, are you...
You're watching, are you enjoying?
Do you like this? Is this good? Camera, is this good? Is this good?
Yeah. So this is, because this is it, the audience that are here today are ultimately receiving their numbers, receiving the figures, presenting that to the team. And like you said, but it's not about presenting it, it's about leading it and saying, these are the numbers we found, this is what's your involvement, and then getting the audience that they're presenting to, and like you say, what feels like an inanimate object, it's not inanimate. There are people sat at the other end of those computers, so how are you drawing them in? How are you keeping that conversation
If you're
flowing?
not communicating your insights really well, the team on the other hand might misunderstand it, misrepresent it, twist it, not use it, not use your company anymore. So it is absolutely vital that we present the work that we have, whatever it is. If an insight researcher is the insight. For me, it's a song or my speech, but we need to be able to communicate that really well to the other people. So what does that mean, communicate really well? It means to tell a story around it. It means to make it interesting and relevant. We want to know what's in it for me. We want to understand why does it matter and what does your research actually show. Brené Brown is actually a top example of a researcher who knows how to tell the story, right? So she will be presenting data, but she always looks for the pattern in the data and for the contradiction, this tension. And that's what you want to do with your data, so you can present it in a meaningful way. And a meaningful way is something that then makes sense to us and makes us interested, because we're interested in contradictions, aren't we?
Yeah.
But if you give me just a couple of numbers, I don't know what to do with that. You have to give me the story. Absenteeism has been rising by 70%. Female leaders leave the workplace 43% more than last year. I'm making this up now, but then we're like, so what? I need to see the tension, but that's interesting in the context of you've just spent 5 million in your engagement program for senior leaders, yet those are the numbers. What's going on?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not leaving because they're not engaged. Maybe they're leaving because they're too engaged and they're burnt out. So you see, it's finding the contradiction through the data that allows us to tell the story, that allows us to build relevance, that allows us to gain interest. And this is where it gets fun, because we're talking about stories, and I'm all about stories.
So that being said then, the story is, what's the story? How are people taking this and turning their data into stories that also it doesn't feel like, ultimately I've come here for card hold facts and now you're telling me a 20-minute story about something you could have said this percentage to that.
This is a really good point. So we're dancing between too many facts are dry and too much story is like, hello, and then I didn't hire you for the evening entertainment, I wanted to go home. Yeah. So where's the line? There is no line, it is a dance. And how do I do that within a 45-minute workshop? Well, you should have been here.
Exactly.
Obviously, if we go into more detailed work, that's going to take longer, but that's why companies bring me in, so that we can work with that. it's something that's felt in the room. If you start talking, after a while, we might go, you know when you lost me. So we need to practice that with people. Tell me your story, I'll tell you where you lost me. You lost me at that third detail. I didn't need to hear it. Give me the story with just one detail. Try again, boom. Oh, and then you feel the difference. I mean, so I'm really excited about practical work, as you can possibly hear. Right? Because I was just talking to a company who wants to bring me in, and they said, oh, our goal would be that we have a cheat sheet afterwards so that we can refer to it when you're gone. And I'm thinking, what's that going to do? You could get the cheat sheet from YouTube now. If you want information, you get it go online. AI will give you the information. Don't hire me for the information. Hire me for the transformation, for the liberation, because I'll help your team actually do this. But yes, it takes a little time, a little practice to get it to stick in a body.
I love this. I personally could talk to you about this all day long.
Let's do it. The cameras are rolling. I'm ready. Let's go.
What is it you're going to be taking away from today? Have you taken something away from our keynote and the workshop even that you delivered yourself?
Definitely the keynote gave me a sense of like, oof, it's not just me. Because when it comes to memory, I feel a bit vulnerable because I've noticed that I don't remember things well. I'm chronically overloaded in my brain, which is a reason why we don't memorize well. And Julia's talk gave a justification for all of that. It's not just me, everyone does it. So the question becomes more, how can we help ourselves? So I'm not using AI because I'm stupid. I'm using the AI to help myself do the relevant things. And I think that's a really good insight I took. From my workshop, I think the confirmation is again and again that it's okay to be in the moment. It's not just okay to be in the moment, it literally is what provides the most value. So I can deliver a keynote, then I will learn everything by heart and I know all my points. I know exactly what I'm going to bring across. That's a keynote. When I do a workshop, I allow myself to go blank and ask the room what they need. And then I deliver on that. And sometimes because I'm human, I doubt that that's the best way. And so what I take away from this experience again and again is it's really a great way to be with people.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We cannot wait to share this.
Was that good enough? Was that good enough? Was that good enough? Was that good enough?
Thank you again.
Thank you. Pleasure.